And tonight, match number 10 in the Big Ten of the 20-game marathon. And we are underway in Minnesota. And it starts with Maddie Cook over the top, and Purdue on the board first.
Very smart shot by Maddie Cook. Her just placing that ball over the Minnesota block is very smart, because that's going to make those defenders be ready to go and get that.
And Maddie Cook has been really good lately. Had a career best match against Iowa a couple weeks ago, and she was a bright spot in the loss against Nebraska on Wednesday. But a service error gives a point right back to Minnesota.
It's an early service error. Both teams are probably just getting comfortable and finding their groove as this match is going to continue to go on.
Rachel Kilkelly with the service for the Gophers. Coming off back-to-back wins. They swept Iowa on the road on Wednesday, and CeCe McGraw with a good get. And there's Jenna Wennis cross court. And a long set for Skimmerhorn, and McGraw with the second dig on this point. Skimmerhorn setting again to Cook. And Schaffmaster had to take the first ball at center, and another big get in the back for Hornung. Long rally. We can expect a lot of this tonight. Good back row play. And Taylor Landfair spits those back row players.
What a play that was. It was just so ongoing. There were so many out-of-system swings, which is going to be huge in this match. And we see McGraw getting under that dig and fighting to keep it up to allow Schaffmaster to just go to work and set her options.
So CeCe McGraw needed 2 digs coming into tonight to get to fourth all time, passing Jess Granquist, and she did it on 1 point.
CeCe McGraw is huge for that Gopher defense. She's such a big part of their leadership, and then she's just working constantly in that back row.
There's Eva Hudson, who's first in the Big Ten in kills.
That's a good swing by Eva Hudson. She's so strong with swinging high into those blockers' hands, and that's hard for a freshman to learn when coming into the best conference. She just continues to find ways to score.
You've got cannons on the pins tonight with those heavy arms of Wennis and Landfair from Minnesota. You've got Eva Hudson first in the Big Ten in kills for Purdue. And there's Landfair, but she's blocked. Hannah Clayton out of the middle.
That was a very great, disciplined block by Purdue. They did a super well job of getting hip to hip and just pressing their hands over the net.
And the first 6 points of this match split. Jenna Wennis off of the block. And a call at the net on the Gophers. So Dave Shondell hadn't won here since last year. He's been the coach for 21 years. That meant a whole lot when they came here and swept a Minnesota and Wisconsin weekend a year ago. That does not happen a lot in the Big Ten.
It's hard to come into this arena and beat a really good team like Minnesota. And I'm sure they're looking to do that again tonight.
There's Taylor Landfair down the line, tying it up at 4. You know I had to bring that up, by the way. Dave Shondell said that kind of with gritted teeth this week, but he's like, Grace will remember that weekend.
Oh, I for sure remember that weekend, and they were playing super strong volleyball, and I'm sure they're looking to find their groove tonight and get back to that strong volleyball.
And that was a 4-set winner for Purdue here last year. Eva Hudson, oh, big time swing, her second kill.
Big time swing by Eva Hudson, you are correct, and they're going to be looking to get her involved and get her to find her confidence right away. She does a great job finding the seam and just attacking it immediately.
That had her first sign of real struggles in the past couple matches against Nebraska, hitting the negatives. And with the Big Ten's top hitter with a loud start with the 2 kills. Here's Clayton coming around in the slide, coverage from Hudson. Emma Ellis. Kilkelly there. Taylor Landfair rattles it. And it's taken on the first ball by Schaffmaster. Landfair. And Hudson changes the pace. Here's Jenna Wennis. Into the block, and Hannah Clayton in again from the middle.
This is going to be a defensive match. You can already tell they are balling out back there. I love how Purdue is being smart with where they're putting the ball. In this rally, we saw them swing it and put the ball on Schaffmaster multiple times, which was keeping Minnesota out of system, which allowed them to get such a strong block on that final swing.
And Nia Gross is blocked. Hannah Clayton has come to play.
So smart by Hannah Clayton. She stuck with her middle and was able to get up and time it perfectly. As a middle blocker, sometimes you got to guess which way the middle is going to swing, and she guessed right there.
You said defensive battle tonight.
It's going to be a fun night.
Fun start on defense. Not stopping that, though. Taylor Landfair across court.
That's a swing that's just hard to defend in any moment of any match. That deep corner placement is just perfect.
I heard Dave Shondell talk a lot about that this week with the fast offense for Minnesota. You see a lot of that cross-court shot. Sometimes Landfair heavy enough of an arm to hit through it anyway. Off the antenna for Ellis. And back-to-back points for Minnesota.
Looked like Ellis was trying to come back towards that line with that swing, but she might have turned her body a little bit too much, which caused her to hit the antenna on that swing.
High ball for Ellis. They go right back to her, but the block put up for Minnesota. And it's run down by Emily Brown. Push out for Landfair again. And can't get to it. Skimmerhorn. And Landfair ties it up.
Purdue was able to keep that point going with that great save.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
And Dave Shondell said they were working on that part for Colvin. Getting her more comfortable out there. Skimmerhorn saves the point for now. Landfair back throw. Skimmerhorn hangs in there tough again. And a well-placed tap picked up by McGraw. Oh, the Liberos doing it big on this point, and Minnesota saves point with CeCe McGraw.
Two huge digs by Purdue Skimmerhorn to keep that ball up and keep their team going, and they just ended that point on an error, which is unfortunate, but I love the hustle and I love the drive, and although they didn't win that point, that's still a momentum point for them.
One-arm CeCe McGraw, too, and another one floats out on Colvin. Hard to lose Landfair, but it's not like she's the only option for Minnesota. Saw Schaffmaster get involved on the center spot, too. Then Emma Ellis out of the timeout with a score for Purdue.
That's a big swing by Emma Ellis. We saw Purdue in this first set make a lot of errors towards the end of the set, which just allowed Minnesota to find their groove and work on things that they were wanting to work on. But Emma Ellis was able to change that around right there with that kill.
Pin hitter at .455 with the hitting efficiency tonight. And there's Gross back in there in the middle.
Huge swing by Gross right there. And again, that is why she's so valuable, because when middles are able to run the slide and find ways to score, that just adds so much more versatility for their team, because when the middle's running a quick in front, it's got to be a pretty perfect situation, but you can get them the ball on the slide when the setter's not in a perfect spot.
And down the middle, Purdue with another score with Cook. And that brings up that vaunted set point again with Minnesota down a couple. Purdue will try to get out a little bit quicker this time.
Yes, Purdue's run that crossing pattern with Colvin and Cook, and they want to get Cook the ball in the middle.
Hornung, tough serve. Wucherer off the hands and out. Check the first box on a set point for Minnesota. They've raised the bar a little bit, trying to fend off 4 set points.
A bit more of a comeback right here.
And there's 3 in that first set. They won it 27-25. Cook with the roll. McGraw with the setup for Wucherer, and there's number 2 for Minnesota.
There's number 2 for Minnesota, and there's number 2 for Wucherer, just absolutely dominating an out-of-system swing. the last 2 balls have been pretty hard angles for her to go up and take big rips, but we've seen her do exactly that. Very impressive.
Freshman pin hitter, just like Eva Hudson. McKenna Wucherer. Here is Eva Hudson, and Wucherer gets there, put back down for Purdue, but there's contact at the net, and it's a 3rd point in a row staved off. Is it here we go again time?
Wow, that was surprising. That is a ball that's hard sometimes to control your body, but when it's a set point like that and Minnesota is making a comeback and you've got that easy opportunity, you really need to focus on just getting that ball over without hitting the net.
It was Cook that made contact. 3 set points in a row, just like the first set. And Minnesota has won. Do they have a 4th to get it tied? Do they have it with Wucherer again? Not this time! A wall put up by Colvin. And they finally close one out to tie this match. A lot of musical depth. That was kind of close to the Dougie, that move she showed off.
I love learning more about these players behind who they are in their uniform.
Well, start of set 3, all squared away after 2 sets. And it's Minnesota opening up with a point.
Seems like the down ref called Purdue for being under the net. And Chandel looked like he might have disagreed with that or was just trying to get some clarity there.
Asked for the clarity, now we play on, and Purdue takes the point on the Landfair error.
That was a close serve that was just maybe half an inch from landing in. But I loved the aggressive intent she had there and was very close to finding the floor.
Serving accuracy has been good so far for Minnesota as far as finding court anyway. With their 2nd service error. Purdue ready for the draw slide that time. And Wucherer splits 2 in the back. Got it past Hornung.
Great swing by by Wucherer, and I liked how she was able to change the pace of that swing. We've seen her going hard and physical up with most of her swings, but that time she took some off and was able to catch the defenders of Purdue off guard.
Wucherer in receive there, and Clayton slices it down.
Great pass, great set, and great swing by Clayton.
Clayton coming off a match where she hit .500 despite the loss on Wednesday. A little less efficient tonight. He's had a couple big blocks. Here's Landfair back row. Hudson way off the net behind that 10-meter line. And that's down.
That's middle for middle and cross-body shot for cross-body shot. This time we saw Erica Davis change up her pace a little bit with that cross-body shot. It was a little bit of a misconnection, as of what I was talking about earlier, how those misconnections in the middle often work.
And that's a service ace for Minnesota, right back the other way. So Davis got the kill in the middle, and then Minnesota answers right back with the ace. Their 2nd of the night. Schaffmaster trying to keep it going after acing up the Boilers, but can't into the net.
Boilermakers, number 12, Emma Ellis, serving, number 17, Eva Hudson.
Getting that ace and then having that error. It's interesting how you see that happen quite a bit where a player is able to ace the other side and then the error on the next one. And I wonder what or why that happens so often.
Well, there's a block for Renner and Clayton.
Clayton has really impressed me with her blocking ability, and I think so much credit goes to how hard she works in blocking, because as a middle, you're having to read and then you're having to make fast, aggressive moves to close that block, and you see her doing that every time. So she's very talented, but she also just works incredibly hard, which gives her so much success.
Work rate in the middle. Got a couple blocks in the first set. Get a touch here, but Wucherer scores it.
I love how Wucherer is swinging so confident on those out-of-system swings. That ball is coming all the way from the opposite back corner, but she was able to get her feet there and still swing so aggressively.
Yeah, 2 in double figures in kills for Minnesota, both Wucherer and Landfair. Oh, good effort from Renner. And off the antenna for Ellis. Minnesota by 2.
Although Purdue didn't get the point, I still want to point out Renner's coverage. She was so aggressive with getting that ball up, and that just says a lot because attackers are able to swing so much more confidently when they know that their teammates are back there covering them.
Right and into hands. Minnesota block heating up.
Slides can be tricky to block, but it's all about mirroring that attacker and going up with similar timing as them, and Landfair did a great job right there.
Coming off the big block day on Wednesday. And the roll goes down. Ooh, nice shot.
Smart swing by Hudson. We've seen her putting a lot of pace on her last handful of swings, so for her to take some off there and find that donut in the middle of the court was very smart.
Were you a donut over campfire type of person?
Not necessarily. You may hear me switch it up throughout this match.
Donuts by the campfire?
I like that.
We'll roll with it. Either way, Hudson, good shot. Crowell is back in, and she has a kill.
We're seeing these teams find some success with changing the pace and dropping the ball in front of their opponent's defenders.
Lauren Crowell, first match that she's played in since Stanford, which was September 10th. It's been a month and a half since she's been in there. Played second and third set now. She's got the block touch on the Ellis swing. And going in the middle on a quick set, and it's turned back. And Crowell into the cross court. And down the line for Ellis. Raised the tape and scored it.
In the Boilermakers, number 16, Manny Cook. Also in the tournament, number 4, Grace Billingsley.
Schaffmaster for Crowell, blocked. Schaffmaster gets the shoulder on it. And it rattles down for Taylor Landfair.
That was a quick play and a quick set back to Landfair, and I loved how she was able to gather her feet super quickly and just go up and swing that ball high still. That can be hard sometimes where attackers aren't able to get their full approach and they're swinging low, but she gathered her feet and was still able to jump high.
How about Lauren Crowell in this third set? A kill and now an ace.
Those net balls can always be tricky to pass against, but nonetheless, very good serve.
Well, she's had some moments for Minnesota in her short time on the court. Had a big block against Florida to close out that match. Got a big hug from her teammates after, and she'll stay at the service line.
She is making Minnesota better out there right now, that's for sure. She just put in another difficult ball, which caused an overpass from Purdue.
With Grace Loberg, Connor Onion. And Lauren Crowell serving. Playing each of the last 2 sets, and they get her off the service line with Cook.
Great swing by Cook, and there again we saw Purdue do that crossing pattern with Colvin going on the slide and Cook coming around for that high ball in the middle. And so far they've wanted to go to Cook, so if I'm Minnesota, I'm lining up my block to be on Cook.
Well, Gross was going out for the slide, but set behind her. And Colvin makes him pay.
And that's exactly what Purdue has to do. Every time there is a misconnection or Minnesota is free balling the ball over, they need to make Minnesota pay for it. And that Colvin did a great job with that right there.
And Minnesota was going for their middle. Purdue said that sounds pretty smart. Let's do it. Got it right down the chute for Colvin. Balancey for a little jumping one-armed dig there. And Landfair down the line, crushes one.
Landfair finding a way to score even when there is a huge block set up perfectly in front of her. You can see how she's going slow to fast with her approach. She's the most aggressive towards the end, which is allowing her to hit with so much pace.
Here's Wucherer. Skimmerhorn, the libero at the set. Hudson flying high.
And that's all discipline. On those type of balls, the block needs to remain disciplined.
And Hudson into the antenna there, and a one-arm hit for CC McGraw. Colvin readjusts and zigzags it through. Dave Shondell asked for more production from Colvin. He's gotten 6 kills out of her tonight.
And Landfair, and there was some miscommunication, and we saw Nia Gross take that ball and shank it because I think she was uncertain if she was supposed to take it. Even more challenging, and that's where you have the error. It's all about just being consistent with a difficult pace ball.
A little serving cockiness.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Hudson off the net. Oh, it sticks inside the block there.
Between their hands and the net, and that can't happen, or kills like that will come from it.
It's this, it's that. You're right, it's both. But it score right back the other way for Minnesota. Now Schaffmaster serving for the Gophers. There's Hudson blocked. Hornung there. Right back to her. Lauren Crowell, cross-court kill.
So, huge play from Lauren Crowell tonight.
From Eagan, Minnesota. So staying home, the redshirt freshman Crowell playing big tonight. Well, she was the one laughing originally. Schaffmaster was the one. Looks like she just ate something that didn't taste good. There's the look of, oh, that is horrible.
Does not like it.
Schaffmaster saying, I'm with you.
I am curious what they're eating there.
Here's Emma Ellis. And Clayton tips it. Schaffmaster gets it. And Hudson out of the back. Schaffmaster recovering from that sour taste. Here's Ellis. And the block. Oh, another long point here. Clayton rattles it. McGraw. McKenna Wucherer. Maddie Skimmerhorn. And up toward the ref stands. Renner can't keep it alive.
What a rally on both sides of the net, and what can Schaffmaster do? We see her get 2 huge digs in this play to keep the ball up for Minnesota. And then, of course, it's Wucherer who finds a way to put that ball down at the end.
Well, it's no mistake, Grace, right, that Schaffmaster has 9 double-doubles now. Assists, dig, double-doubles. Teams target her so she can't set up the offense. And point for Minnesota again with Clayton out of the slide, pushing it out.
If I'm Minnesota, I'm looking for Clayton to possibly stay in front of the setter this time and run it quick in front. We've seen her do that sometimes throughout plays, but I'm wondering if she's switching it up.
Balancey to the back, and McGraw can't keep it up. Eva Hudson with the kill.
So we saw Clayton go behind, and that allowed Eva Hudson to come up on the pipe from behind. And if she would have gone behind for the slide, we would have seen Eva Hudson staying for that pipe.
Kill Kelly and serve receive. And Schaffmaster goes to Landfair.
Minnesota is just playing so solid all around right now. Every single player is working to keep that ball up and then just better the ball.
Raven Colvin inaccurate on that swing. She was flying but couldn't redirect it in.
It looked like Colvin was hanging a little bit, trying to stay in the air in order to make contact with that ball. She's drifting a little bit as she's contacting it, which caused her to swing it towards the antenna.
Ellis rolls, McKee with the dig. Hudson, McGee again, but this time Hudson scores it. Hudson snuck it past her for a 14th kill, one off the match high. Landfair's got 15. Schaffmaster up tight to the net with Gross. And Ellis into hands. Recycle it. And Colvin hammers it down.
There it is for Colvin. She's able to go off of 2 feet with that quick in front and is able to just pound that ball to the ground. That's a great swing by her. But what I love is we see her working hard there. That's a quick transition play, and we see her get off the net and approach fast towards the net again.
Here's Crowell. Oh, Cook hammers one. McGraw gets to it. And Ellis with the tool. Schaffmaster dumps. Skimmerhorn waiting on it. Hudson cross court. Well, Horn on with a dig this time. And Schaffmaster calling for it in front of McGraw. Free chance to set up the offense for Purdue. And Hudson has it hanging on the tape. Nia Gross is a Michigan State transfer. And the first time that she played against Michigan State, she had a perfect game.
She did have a huge match, and she was probably fueled by that energy going up against her prior school, and I'm sure she's going to come with that same energy against Michigan State the second time around.
And 7 swings, 7 kills, batted 1,000.
That is impressive, no matter who you're going up against.
A little extra if it's your old school, and right to Gross out of the timeout, and 4 points in a row for Purdue.
Purdue put that serve on Landfair, and Minnesota doesn't usually want to set Landfair in a pass-to-attack situation, but I have a feeling that they might this time.
Here's Landfair. Didn't put it down, though. Chance for Hudson. C.C. McGraw with the dig. Back to Landfair, blocked. Wennis with the save. Punched back with the left, and McGraw plays free. And down the line, the run continues with Maddie Cook.
Fallon Seaford noticed that Landfair was on the ground and was slow to be getting back. So she set that ball to her opposite, and Cook was able to just attack that line. Very smart heads-up play by both Fallon Seaford and Cook.
7 out of the last 8 points going to the Boilermakers. Joust at the net. Colvin wins it. Look out now. It's a 2-point set. And another timeout for Minnesota, their final of set 3.
Purdue has the momentum on their side right now, and it is close. They are right back in this game. And
number 16 Baylor, number 13 Florida, number 18 Oregon. And of course, once you get into the Big Ten, your RPI is always going to get a boost.
You're playing against the best almost every single night in the Big Ten.
A big match as far as the standings, too. Both teams 6 and 3, tied at 1 set apiece. And the joust is won this time by Gross.
And Nia Gross shifts the net presence there. She goes up big and strong, and she's able to stay on that ball longer than the Purdue block, and that's why she gets that point. She is fired up, and Minnesota just needs this next one to carry themselves into this next set with a 2-1 lead.
Landfair on set point number 1. And Eva Hudson on a night where set point closes have been elusive.
In the key moments, they are going to want to get the ball to Eva Hudson because she has ice in her veins, and she is going to find a way to score. Big swing.
An icy tool. Master off the net, redirects for Wucherer. A retreating Hornung. Hudson, and that is out. And Minnesota takes set number 3 to lead 2-1. Support for Minnesota around Taylor Landfair's big night with 15 kills. Wenis has been quiet, just 3 kills for her. And it's been a defensive slugfest at times, begins with an attack error for Taylor Landfair.
Yes, you are correct. We called that right from the first set, that this was going to be a defensive battle, and we're seeing that right now. Schaffmaster is at 19 digs and Skimmerhorn's at 20 digs.
Purdue known to make you work in matches like this.
Absolutely, and I think defensive skill and effort is the difference maker in these Big Ten matches.
2 in a row for Purdue to begin the 4th set. Trying to take this match the distance. Again, both records at 6-3 at the start of the night in the Big Ten. And the teams directly above Purdue and Minnesota are Nebraska, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. Schaffmaster going behind her to Nia Gross in the first point of this 4th set for the Gophers.
And there's Schaffmaster doing a great job switching up who she's setting on offense. And there's Nia Gross just going at that slide approach so aggressively and swinging and powering through that block.
Low roll over the top of the block for Cook. Well done. Thought of a challenge there maybe, but they will not go to the monitor. Schaffmaster serving. Balance for back to Hudson. Oh, CC McGraw laying out. And McGraw back into the play. And Clayton blocks. She recovers. A lot of activity from McGraw. And Crow pays it off for CC McGraw.
Huge swing by Kral, and that just is a compliment to CC McGraw's dig at the beginning of that play. She lays out and is able to get one arm on that ball to keep it up. And when you have a defensive effort in a play like that, it really helps change the momentum when the team's able to win the point.
Moved into 4th place all-time in Minnesota history tonight. Won't get that one, though. It's Maddie Cook again.
And there's Cook going with her bread and butter, just swinging that ball so hard down the line. We've seen her switching up her shots a lot tonight, which is very impressive. But I think her most consistent and powerful swing is right down the line.
Jumps and hugs after the kill for Cook as she checks out into the back row in the rotation. And Wucherer is out and steering it away for a 2-point Purdue lead. And both teams trying to avoid a 4th loss. There's only been one 4-loss champion in Big Ten history, and Erica Davis puts one down.
Great service pass by Landfair. She takes that ball with her hands and is able to push that up so high, controlled, and Schaffmaster feeds that ball to Erica Davis.
Most she's played all season. Hasn't played more than 1 set before tonight. Played the 3rd and the 4th set. And on 2, McGraw's ready for it. And it sneaks between Skimmerhorn and Hornung, and Minnesota ties it.
Both these teams are thinking defensive-minded right now. We've seen the setters try to dump on the second ball, but the liberos on both sides are doing such a great job of reading them and getting that ball up.
Renner for Hudson. She's blocked. Crowell and Davis.
2 subs coming into the game and just making a huge impact. They've both already started out this set so strong.
And into the net. On the service by Kilkelly.
Give the Boilermakers number 12, Dallas, back serving number 17, Eva Hudson.
There's Davis into the tape. Saved. Kill Kelly. But last touch from CeCe McGraw into the scores table.
That was a great serve by Eva Hudson. That ball took Taylor Landfair to her knees, which took her out of the offensive attacking option. And they forced that ball to the middle, which Purdue was set up and had a huge block right there. So, again, it's all coming back to the serves.
We've talked a lot about the hitting for Hudson, not a lot about the serve, though. Good moments there. Oh, big one for Taylor Landfair.
That serve was a little bit deeper. Landfair was able to stay on her feet and smoothly get into her pass to attack, which just looked so clean with that ball coming from Schaffmaster so fast.
Tough ask for Renner trying to block that one-on-one.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Renner goes to Hudson, tip, and it's down in front of McGee.
Very smart tip by Hudson. With those back row attacks, when you've got blockers up, you're trying to see where the block's coming from and where you could put your tip, because you know that they've got one less defensive player there.
Big stat-stuffing night for Hudson. Crowd cross court, and it won't sneak over.
I am loving the offense that Minnesota is running right now. They're switching things up and completely not allowing Purdue to know where they're going to go with the ball. And that all starts with Schaffmaster, so very well done.
New career high for Crowd tonight in kills. She's got 5. And a block for Schaffmaster and Gross.
That was a big block. Right into their hands, and they do such a great job of having big hands and just pushing that ball to the ground on their block.
Ellis got a touch. Landfair close to the net. Landfair a second time, tips it. Brown picks it up. Free ball time, maybe not.
But Minnesota is smiling in their huddle with that one. They know they kind of got lucky with that free ball going into the net, but I'm sure they're going to find a way to make that worth it.
And for the Boilermakers, number 4, Grace Ballancy.
Lauren Crowell's had a big night up front. Topping the 3 kills she had against Oregon in the 4-set win. And now a tough serve for Lauren Crowell. Landfair blocked. Raven Colvin with some energy.
We saw Purdue sub Balancifer in for front row, which usually Renner is setting from the front row for Purdue, and Minnesota went right for that outside attack to try to go after that shorter block, but Colvin did a great job getting there and shutting that seam down.
Here's Grace Balancifer. Ross took a lot off of it. And Ellis going for it, but it's out.
And that's one of those swings where that looks like a bad miss. It sailed out of bounds, but Ellis was going for high hands there. She was trying to hit that ball off the top of the block's hands, which is smart. You don't want to go low into that seam. So, good idea by Ellis.
And Landfair serves it up. And Cook into the block of Nia Gross.
And that's an adjustment right there that Minnesota has made. We've seen Purdue run that play a handful of times where Colvin's on the slide and Cook is coming around from the high ball in the middle, and they want to go to Cook. And Minnesota picked up on that and was able to get the block.
And a tape buzzer on the serve for Taylor Landfair. And then Ellis swats it. And net call Purdue gets the point. And are back within 2. It's like kind of a disgruntled moment of silence there for Hugh McCutcheon, closing the eyes.
Just thinking what he's going to say next.
Wooker does get it clear. Purdue gives themselves a chance off of the top serve, and Cook finishes the point.
great save by Minnesota in an effort to keep that ball up and over and get that ball over the net, but Purdue makes them pay, and that starts with Cook, able to put that ball down. Or I should say, that finishes with Cook, able to put that ball down.
The anti-hero of last year's match at Minnesota, Allie Hornight with that serve, and Schaffmaster with a dunk.
Schaffmaster is a defensive stud tonight. She is just setting such an amazing ball, and now we're seeing her offensive side come into play also. She is having a great night.
CC McGraw, who moved into 4th place all time in Minnesota Digs history. Here's Hudson, and Schaffmaster gets to it. Wucherer off to the block.
And there's Wucherer taking out the trash again. I mentioned it before that she's getting a lot of out-of-system balls, and she's doing a great job handling it and getting her job done. And this is another great example of that. She's smart, and she intentionally tools that block.
Maybe that's why it's felt like a quiet big night for her, taking out the trash a little bit. Oh, thunderous swing for Raven Colvin for Purdue.
And that is Raven Colvin's favorite swing. She loves going off of 2 feet in front of the setter, and she has a ton of success with it. But that's my bad, that was 2 feet behind the setter.
Combination of the strength and the skill she's working on.
Absolutely. Balancing each other out.
There's Wucherer. Colvin keeps it up overhead. Hudson roll. Wucherer onto the ground. And Wennis tools it.
They are 2 impressive athletes, and they've done so much for this Minnesota program, and their name will be in the history books forever. And that's because of tonight and the hundreds of matches they've played before tonight.
Schaffmaster's only a junior, by the way. That's not a redshirt junior. That's not a COVID junior. That's just a straight-up junior. And already in the top 10 in school history in 8th in assists. And that's in front of CC McGraw for Eva Hudson, who will probably be near the top of the kills leaderboard when it's all said and done at Purdue.
You're absolutely right. She's only a freshman, and the impact she has on this Purdue program is huge.
Second-generation Boilermaker. Her mom, Stacy, was the captain of the '94 Purdue Boilermakers. There's Wucherer down the line. Brown stands in. And Hudson looking for back-to-back. And dumped down, but ping-ponging between the defenders. And McGraw down again. Renner dumps it and finds a spot.
That was a huge dump by Renner. And I loved how she went a little bit deeper. It was almost like it was past that donut area, because that's where defenders are usually looking and thinking that the setter dump was going to go. But she put it past that, which made it kind of confusing with who was supposed to go for that ball.
Wucherer tools it for the kill. Gets Minnesota back on track.
Wucherer does such a nice job of going off that outside blocker's hand for the kill.
Well, it's the 2 #1 recruits carrying Minnesota, McKenna Wucherer and Taylor Landfair, top in the country, and a block up there for Crowell. And Erica Davis, they team up one more time.
Such a great job by those 2 blockers. They see that the set was inside, and you could tell that Erica Davis noticed that and was stopped and able to put up a huge block. Great combination by Crowell and Davis.
It was Purdue dominating the block early. Erica Davis, Lauren Crowell, mid-match inserts, swinging the block in Minnesota's favor. It'll take some work to still capture that goal of being Big Ten champs, even if you win tonight. This is a big separation match for 2 teams tied in the standings. Here's Hudson. Crowell looking for a 6th kill. Clayton, not this time, on the 2nd time, denied by Kilkelly. Crowell wants that 6th one. She gets it this time. Adds to the career high.
Krall is having so much success right now, and I think the Purdue blockers are having a really challenging time lining up their block and being able to set up a block in front of her left-handed attacks.
A little different look over there on that right. Jenna Wennis, a right-handed player. And that sneaks in front of Krall and Davis. And Purdue trying to stay alive in the match. Back down by 3.
Number 17, Eva Hudson.
There's Taylor Landfair with the bullet.
That started off with such a great pass, and Minnesota was in system with 3 options there. Schaffmaster could have set Davis in the middle, but she pushed that fastball out to Landfair, and that's just a hard offense to defend when they're in system.
Fast in, fast out. Emma Ellis, McGee got a piece of it. Well, behind the head tip and a joust at the net. Net's moving. Somebody touched it, and they called it on Purdue.
It looked like Renner might have come down in the net there, and she wasn't going to try to fight it. She knew she was in the net there.
Yep, good call.
They just got to keep playing consistent and keep showing up how they have these last few games.
And Michigan State before that, obviously not a gimme either. And Minnesota knows that with a couple of tight ones they've played. And Purdue out of the timeout. Gets it back within 4 with Eva Hudson.
Eva Hudson has great court vision when she's in the back row. She sees where those blockers are coming from, and she sees where the openings on the court are. And she does a great job not trying to be too tricky, but just placing those balls there.
And huge night again. 20 kills for a 5th time this season. Krall with another one steaming off her hand.
Krall brings that ball to the line, and her teammates are hugging her, and you can just tell that they are so proud of the impact she's had in this game and how she's just proven that she can be trusted in any situation.
So the lead back to 5 for the Gophers. Emma Ellis, tool shot kill.
That's a great swing by Ellis. She does a great job of seeing that Melanie Schaffmaster is drifting out and her hands are reaching to get to that line. She sees that and goes after those hands, and that allows for an easy kill.
The 3rd for Purdue into double digits in kills tonight. Ellis joining Cook and Hudson. Hudson with the match high 20. Landfair trying to join her with 20. Denied this time. Stumbles down after that swing, but right back into the play with number 20.
Stumbles down, is slow to transition off the net, but wow, does she approach back so aggressive and is able to get such a big swing there. 20 kills and 3 blocks. That is a huge night for Landfair. I say huge night, but every night she's having a huge night.
She's number 2 in the Big Ten in kills. She's matched the number 1 hitter in the Big Ten in kills tonight. Service error there. But you got number 1 attacker against number 2 attacker in the Big Ten. They've played even so far. It's a stalemate with 20 kills aside.
They're both showing out tonight. Very impressive.
Remember, Purdue swept Minnesota in West Lafayette. Minnesota trying to turn it around, get a little revenge, and split the season series. And Landfair with number 21.
An out-of-system swing from the back rail. Those can be challenging because it's hard to kind of understand your depth and where you can swing, but she was so controlled with her approach and with her hand contact and was able to go high off those blockers' hands.
Eva Hudson is blocked. Davis, massive off the bench tonight.
Huge block to take Minnesota to match point.
Purdue had a 5-block edge at one point. Minnesota shrinking the gap, bringing up match point number 1 with Hudson staving it off.
Hudson will not let Minnesota win this match that easily. She comes out and she fires another really tough swing, this time going line for the kill.
Will not let Landfair take that Big Ten lead. Tied at 21 kills, Hudson and Landfair. Match point number 2. There's McKenna Wucherer down the line and off the hands. And Minnesota wins it in 4 sets over Purdue.